Hello and welcome to a special edition of Global Gooners. My name's Jack, this is my friend Moran, and today we just finished watching the Arsenal-Sunderland game, good 4-1 victory, but one notable thing about the match was Mesut Ozil not starting. Apparently he wasn't starting because of a thigh strain, but was it really a thigh strain? And we're going to be talking about whether the criticism towards him in the recent weeks has actually been warranted or not. So what are your overall thoughts on Mesut Ozil in the past couple of weeks?
Well, to our season, he's had an impact. You know, he's brought a new energy, a new spark. 42.5 million brings life into some players. However, he hasn't been as influential as I thought he'd be. You know, for that price tag, he's had his moments against Napoli, yet he hasn't really been that stand-up performer I would expect him to be. He's had good matches, but he hasn't had great performances. So I'm a little bit disappointed that I wish I'd seen more of Ozil performing at his best. However, hopefully we'll wait and see.
What more can you ask from the guy, though? Like, it's his first Premier League season. He's second in the league in assists, first in the league with chances created. The thing that I think some Arsenal fans kind of have a misconception around Ozil is that he's the type of player that goes out and dominates a game. He's on the ball all the time. At Madrid, he wasn't that player. He was playing a whole different system. He's the type of player that comes up with 4 or 5 great passes a game, but he doesn't necessarily play like an Arteta and hold on to the ball, dictate play. He's more of a player that comes in with flashes of brilliance, and that's, I think, a misconception that Arsenal fans have about him.
Of course, our system doesn't really suit Ozil. Sometimes we have Cazorla on the wing, we have Giroud up front, and Ozil's the type of player who likes to play with wingers always make runs, a striker always makes runs. So I see, maybe there's a problem with who we surround Ozil with, and that's a totally different discussion. However, if that's the case, then why should we continually play Ozil in the middle, put a Cazorla in the midfield? He's played with these options before. I'm sure he'd be much more influential in these games, so why take away Cazorla's opportunities?
You saw Ozil against Liverpool when he had Chamberlain and Podolski out wide. He was a whole different player. It's completely different when, say, he has, Rosicky on one wing and Cazorla on the left. He's the type of player that needs more off-ball movement, and when he's surrounded by that, he's a lot better.
Yeah, but there's also another thing. People, we've seen statistically, Ozil, he ran a lot against Bayern, he covered a lot of distance, but, there's this little thing about his attitude where he might actually have this attitude where he's a little above everyone, because, he comes from Madrid, so I like that he's been dropped in the lineup. Gives him a good reality check into this is Arsenal Football Club. You have to earn your spot. You're not given it like you were at Madrid. So hopefully he'll get his mindset right.
I think there's also a misconception with his attitude. I think he actually has a great attitude. I just think he's a very sore loser. He gets really mad when we start to lose, and he'll have kind of those hissy fits, I guess. But he tries really hard. In the games, there's tons of times where he goes unnoticed with the amount of running he does and the amount of effort he puts back on the defensive side of the ball. But what really bugs me about Ozil is the way that he drifts sometimes. Sometimes he drifts in and out, but that's just the player he is, and Arsenal fans have to get used to that.
Yeah, you say he'll have this flashes of brilliance, but in a big game, I want to see Ozil be the difference maker. I know he doesn't. I would like to see him take over a game. I know you say he gets 3 or 4 opportunities, but I want to see him take over a game, because I know someone like Cazorla would take over a game against a Liverpool, and Ozil has the ability to do that. He's done it the past few years at Madrid. He was able to take over a game. He's been compared to Iniesta. He's been seen as better than Iniesta at times. So why can't you? I think all in all, I think it's just his adaptation to the Premier League. I think it wasn't as easy and as smooth as he would have liked, or as Arsenal Football Club would have liked. So hopefully, Dennis Bergkamp, it took him a while to adapt, and look where he's ended up.
He's got a statue right now.
He's got a statue in front of the Emirates Stadium. So, just give Ozil some time, and I'm sure, I'm not making a prediction, but I'm sure he'll have as big of an impact as possibly Bergkamp.
We need him to go on and have some really good performances. Maybe also another thing is fatigue. He's played every single game. Maybe the rest here will help him push on, have a good stretch of games, but the criticisms questioning his skill level is totally unwarranted. Sure, he missed a penalty shot. That's unfortunate. It happens. But people questioning his ability as a player, I think, is totally wrong. Obviously, he's created the most chances in the Premier League. 8 assists for his really good 4 or 5 goals. Probably we want to see more goals from him. That's also a thing I think that Arsenal fans want to see more. He's not really getting on the score sheet as much, and when you get on the score sheet, you get noticed more. But take a Soldado, for instance, 26 million for him. He's not getting much scrutiny compared to Ozil, but Ozil's second in the league in assists and still pretty much doing well in games. So the criticism for him, I think, is highly unwarranted.
All in all, if Ozil scores the winner at Stamford Bridge against Chelsea, or wins us the title with a goal, I think all of this will just blow past us, and we'll start appreciating Ozil once again.
We're appreciating him more.
Exactly.
There's a lot of fans that do still, obviously, love the way he plays. I'm one of them. And we'll like to know what you guys think as fans as well. Comment in the section below. Like the video. Subscribe to Arsenal Fan TV. Have a good day.